Hello everyone, this is Zahid Bashir. Today we are going to discuss some steps using Stata regarding some of the procedure which are required for conducting Pearson correlation and regression, and then we are going to discuss the different assumptions of regression, how to test the hypothesis using regression. So there are some different aspects that I have designed here using some sampled pool data. So previously we have discussed the descriptive statistics. Let's have a recap on this. I have discussed the mean, standard deviation, minimum, maximum frequency, skewness, and kurtosis. And I have also discussed the different implications of these tools. Like I have discussed about skewness, that it is a measure of symmetry of distribution, whether the mean is at the center of the distribution. The skewness value of a normal distribution is always zero. So whenever your skewness value is zero or close to zero, it means your data is basically normally distributed. So if it is not zero, but it is close to zero, still your data is basically normally distributed. While a negative value indicates a skewness to the left tail or longer tail than the right tail, and the positive value indicates a skewness to the right or the right tail or longer tail than to the left one. So we can have different uh, uh, interpretation relevant to the different value. Then we have also discussed kurtosis, which is a measure of peakedness or flatness of a distribution. A normal distribution has a value of 3. So if your kurtosis value is greater than 3, it indicates a sharp peak with heavy tails or closer to the mean. But if your kurtosis is less than 3, it indicates the opposite to a flat top. So you need to understand that your kurtosis value should be 3 or closer to 3. If it is heavily greater than 3, then it is not normally distributed. And if it is heavily less than 3, it is also not normally distributed. So both of these measured are used for normal distribution in case of descriptive statistics, while the mean value indicates the average value of your data. So we have discussed these three things, these things in our Stata, and we have discussed this command with reference to Stata, that whenever you need to find out the summary statistic of your variable, you just need to write sum with variable 1, 2, 3, and so on. And if you need to have the skewness and kurtosis along with your variables, you need to provide comma along with detail command. So this is basically the pattern of finding the skewness and kurtosis along with your descriptive statistics. So today we are going to discuss the Pearson correlation first. So let me open my Stata file. So this is where we want to run the Stata. Let's have let's have an example file to be used with data. For example, let's use CG data, because we need to use pool data analysis for this procedure. So file, open, and use CG data for this. You have saved this data file. I have given you this data file in my previous session. You might have Robin's ROA, Tron, institutional ownership, FI ownership, NOD, period, F size, page, leverage, S growth, total asset. So if you do not have this Stata file, I can share it with you. I would like to share it with Mr. Adnan also. Let me share this first, so that if you do not have this file, you can use it from here. And also share with Muhammad Waqar. Yes. So I have shared the file with both of you. You can open this file in order to practice with me. So first thing you need to do is basically the step-by-step procedure for Pearson correlation. So correlation is done when you want to know the association between the variables. So Pearson correlation coefficient, you need to understand that there might be negative correlation, there might be positive correlation, and there might be zero correlation as well. So when you need to find out the correlation between the variables, you need to use this command, simple command. Uh, for example, PWEORR. This is basically the command for Pearson correlation. So the type of variable that you would like to use is just go to those variables and you will find an arrow sign. You just need to click once for putting it in the command line. So go to ROA, put it PR on, put it, and institutional ownership, FI ownership, NOD, period, F size, etc. So let's suppose these are the variables that I would like to see the Pearson correlation. You just need to enter it first, and you will see a correlation table like this. So what you need to do, you need to just copy it from here, copy table, and you need to put it in the same way as you have done previously in case of descriptive statistics. So this is you can notice here that this correlation table does not involve any significance sign here, whether the correlation between a particular combination of variable is significant or not. Like you can see the correlation between ROA and Tobin's Q is weak positive. This is a weak positive correlation, but whether this weak positive correlation is significant or not, we need to see. In the same way, you can see prawn correlation is also weak positive with Robbins Q. Then you can see institutional ownership. It is still a weak positive correlation, still weak positive correlation, and you can see negative correlations as well with other combination of variables. So we want to see whether this combination of variable is significant, uh, showing significant association or not. So we need to use this command again here, and we need to write comma after the last variable. And what we need to do is we need to include star 0.05 sig. This is basically the command which we use for getting the significance value in our correlation table. So put comma after your last variable, write star within the bracket 0.05, which is the criteria for getting the significance value of correlation coefficient, and click enter. And now you can see the correlation value along with significance value. Now you can interpret this table that there is a significance and weak positive correlation between ROA and Robbins Q. There is a significance and weak positive correlation between PR ownership and Robbins Q. There is a positive but insignificant correlation between PR ownership and ROA. There is a positive correlation which is not significant between institutional ownership and Tobin's group, and so on. You can easily interpret these values. The first value in every row is basically the coefficient correlation, the correlation of Pearson correlation value. And the second value is basically the p value. So you can easily interpret these values over here. We can make it simple in terms of this command to make us easy for interpretation. For example, let's suppose this is somewhat easy to explain. All right. So let's suppose this is the command that we are going to use. So how can we copy it and paste it and make it like our editable table in our APA format? You just need to go here. For example, I think this one was the file that I was using. This was not the one. I think this was the one file that I was using for generating output table. So you need to put the table here. Just right click on here, paste your values here, and you need to convert these values in a table. Go to insert, go to table, and convert text to table. And it will ask you automatically how many columns or rows are required. You just need to click OK, and it will convert it into the table like this. You just need to make some editing here, like I can write the name province queue. I can put it here. I can write here ROA. I can put it here. And write here institutional ownership. I can put it here. In the same way, I can write here from site, and I can also put it here. But further we can do, we can simply delete some of the irrelevant rows from here like this. You just need to delete the rows which are not basically necessary here. The thing that you need to do next is you need to put your p values in parentheses. It means in brackets. Put your p values in parentheses so that they can easily identify in order to make them APA style tables. You just need to put them in parentheses just like this. And then you need to make them in the centrally justified like this. I am making the table like which is required as per APA style. So this is basically make it a little bit more. Your font style should be as per Times New Roman, and make it bold and also bold this one. All right. Now you can make it border free using no border. Now just select your first row and go to the table, bottom border, top border, and again go to the last row of your table and select the bottom border. Now it looks like a APA style table. You can make it more better using like this. You can create a space in order to make your table more uh, like this. All right. Now this is ready to interpret. If you want to make it to interpret, you just need to understand that the first value is correlation coefficient and the second thing value is p value. You can write here, uh, for example, with steric sign, p value. This is, it means that whatever you are looking here in the brackets, they are basically the p values. So, what does the steric sign indicates? The steric sign indicates significant 5%. So, steric sign indicates this. All right. So, this is basically required whenever you need to write down below the table, just like this. Make it at 10 font size with Times New Roman. Now it is ready to interpret. It looks like a APA style table. You can easily interpret. For example, this is table 2. Table 2 indicates significant. Now I am relating with the first one, this one, along with Tobin's view. If you see, this is the correlation between Tobin's Q and ROA. So it indicates a significance value because steric sign indicates significance and p value also indicates significance. So it indicates a significant and weakly positive association between ROA and Tobin's Q. Uh, Correlation value of 0.39, sorry, 3599 and p value as 0.01. P value is less than 0.0, it's equal to 0.000. So this is how you interpret your variable. So if you does not know what does it mean by weakly positive, strongly positive, I will let you know. Always remember that your correlation basically lies between -1 to +1. So if your value of correlation is 0, it means no association. But if your value is less than 0.05, if your value is less than 0.50, it means positive if your value is greater than 0. If your value is greater than 0.50, it is strong positive in case of positive sign. But if it is negative sign, if it is indicating a negative sign, then it becomes a negative correlation. So you need to understand this, that the value is greater than 0.050. So this value is less than 0.50. So we may consider it is a weak association. In the same way, if you see the institutional ownership, this value is too much less than 0.50. It is near to zero. So we can interpret it. The table further are nearly no correlation or no association between ownership and Robinson, because this value is close to zero. This is only 1%. So this is close to zero. That is why Tobin's Q, the association between Tobin's Q and institutional ownership is zero, and it is also not significant. So the table further indicates a nearly no association between institutional ownership and Tobin's Q, which is also not significant. And in the same way, firm size, it indicates a weak negative correlation, but it is significant. Further, significant negative. Now you need to put here the value like R is equal to the coefficient value, which is minus 0 point. You can put this value right from here like this. And you need to put here the p value, which is 0 point. You can also put the institutional values from here in a bracket at the end of the line. And always remember that whenever you are putting these values, you just need to make it italic. Like you need to press Control and I from your keyboard to make it italic. So in the same way, you will interpret the others variable too. You can see here, there is a positive and weak significant. This is basically significant at 10% level because this is 0.07. So it is not significant at 5% level. It is significant at 10% level. So whenever the p value is basically go beyond the 5% and it is near to 10%, it shows the weak significant value. So you can say that there is a weak significant and weak positive association between ROA and institutional ownership. While in case of firm size, there is a negative and significant association with Tobin's Q. There is a negative and significant association with ROA. There is a negative, there is a positive and significant association with institutional ownership. So this is how you can interpret the other values of correlation coefficient. So if you are clear with this part, we can proceed further. Please let me know. Adnan Afzal and Vakar Muhammad. Adnan Afzal has said it is okay. Vakar Muhammad, do you have any issue with this interpretation or with this analysis?
Yes, no, sir.
All right, we can proceed further. This is how we can interpret the correlation, and this is how we can basically create the output of our correlation matrix. So, whenever you need a publishable document or you need to create an article for publication, always remember that articles want APA style of correlation matrix or other tables too. These are also an APA style of correlation. So next we need to proceed further. I will let you know that I will share this document too with you in order to make your procedure free from any error. So let's have a quick overview of regression analysis. So let's suppose I need to regress the data using simple regression analysis like pooled regression analysis. So the command here is reg. You need to put your dependent variable first. So let's suppose my dependent variable is ROA and all other are my independent variables. So first of all, I need to put my dependent variable first. Then I need to put my independent variable one by one like this. I need to click here from the required set of variables. So my first variable is uh, ROA. I need to put it again. My first variable is ROA and all other variables are independent variables. So you just need to click enter and you will see our regression results here. First of all, you need to understand this regression output, after which I will let you know how to create an APA style of regression table using your procedure. So first of all, you need to understand this one. Uh, the first thing you need to see in regression output is probability greater than f value. This value should be less than 0.05. So in our case, as this value is less than 0.05, so it means our model is statistically fit. It means our regression is valid. The next thing you need to see is the R square value. Your R square value indicates that how much your independent variable actually explain your dependent variable. So our dependent variable was ROA. So our independent variables are explaining approximately 23% variation in the dependent variable. So you need to understand that this R square should be as much as close to 1. Next thing that you need to see is the coefficient values of your independent variables as well as their t value and p value. Your t value should be greater than 1.96 and your p value should be less than 0.05. So in case of PR ownership, the coefficient value is positive, but p value is not significant because it should be greater than 1.96. The p value should be less than 0.05 while it is 23%. So it means your PR ownership is not significant with ROA. Next, institutional ownership, it is positive and it is still not significant because p value is very much less and p value is very much high. Next, financial ownership, it is positive and it is somewhat significant. If you see the p value is greater than 5%, but it is less than 10%. So we can say that there is a weak significant relationship between financial ownership and ROA. It means there is a positive impact of financial ownership with weak significant impact because this value is greater than 5%. Next, you can see not Node is positively impacting and it is highly significant. P value is greater than 1.96 and P value is less than 1%. So node is positively and highly significantly impacting. Next is PE rate. It is positively impacting and it is also significant and highly significant with reference to P value also. Then there is F size or firm size. It is negatively impacting and it is also highly significant with highly significant P value. Then we have firm age. It is positively impacting and it is also highly significant with significant P value. We have leverage. This is negatively impacting and this is also highly significant with P value and P value. Then we have growth. It is positively impacting, but it is not significant. Total asset, it is positively impacting and it is significant with reference to P value and P value. Then it is basically the constant value. It should also be significant. We can exclude some of the variables which are not significant, like we can exclude P RON. It is not significant. We can exclude institutional ownership. We can exclude other variables. But let me check whether the robust command, because there might be some heteroscedasticity error or multicollinearity error. We can check for multicollinearity. Vakar said if p value in negative, no issue. Yes, there is no issue with the p value. Always remember that your p value is based on your coefficient and standard error. So whenever you see the p value, whether it is positive or negative, it is computed from your coefficient. Let me explain to you. Let's suppose we have we have an Excel file. I will let you know how these values are computed. Now just take a look on this table. I am copying this table in the Excel. Go to your edit, copy table, and just paste it here, your table. And let's suppose there is no t value here. Let's suppose it is blank. So how the p value is computed, you need to understand. P value is computed when you divide the coefficient with standard error. Go to the t value table, t value column, press equal sign. Now put your coefficient value divided by your standard error value and press enter and you will find t values like this. So a positive t value means your coefficient was positive. A negative t value means that your coefficient was negative. So don't worry about the sign. It is okay if your t value is negative or positive, but always remember that your t value should be greater than 1.96 in order to make it uh, significant, whether it is in negative or whether it is in positive. So always remember. So let's suppose that we need to run this regression with robust in order to control for heteroscedasticity. Put comma and write ROV. This command is used when we are doubt that some of the variable might have heteroscedasticity issue. Uh, so click enter and you will find the table like this. It will not change your model fitness result. It will not change your R square result, but your standard error, if you see the column of robust standard error, they are slightly changed and it will also change the p values and p values too. Now you can observe that PR ownership, it is still not significant, but if you compare these results with the previous one, previously PR ownership p value was 1.20, but now it is 1.33. It means your t value has increased for this particular variable, and its p value is also decreased. While it was previously 23%, now it is 0.185. In the same way, you can observe institutional ownership. Its t value has not changed. It means it was giving the same t value before and after, but the p value has slightly changed. The p value was previously 0.587, but now it is 0.589. So it is a 0.002 uh, increase in your p value. In the same way, financial ownership, if you can observe the previous value, the previous value was close to 1.96, and you can see here it is now decreased. It is decreased the t value, and it also decreased the p value too. So it has become insignificant now. You can also see the node value. Previously, it was 5.37. Now it is 5.96. So what we conclude from here? We can conclude from here that these are basically the good representation of hetero-free values for our regression results. So we can now eliminate those variables which are not good with our results. We can eliminate, like we can copy this regression command from here, put it here, and we can what variables we need to allocate from here. First we need to exclude those variables which are highly insignificant, like institutional ownership. We need to move it from here. Then we need to see which variable is highly insignificant. That was S growth. S growth. All right. Now we need to run a simple regression command first. What will be the result? R square is still the same, and you see that financial ownership, it becomes significant, and all others become significant. Now we can run a robust command here in order to validate our regression results. Go here from there. You need to put it comma rob, and you will see the results like this. Now all other variables are significant, only PR ownership is not significant. So we can run another command excluding this variable which was not significant in our current command, which is PR ownership.